All right, welcome on into the channel, everybody. I hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you're tuning in from. I just want to see if anyone wants to ask any questions, go ahead and do that, and I will answer them after this video. So we're going to be covering some cryptocurrency news today. We have some really cool breaking news that just happened today about a Central African country that just adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. And we're going to start to see this being a more commonplace action that takes place across many different countries. And I'm going to break down a few that are a lot bigger than that Central African country that are going to start looking to do that, because in the past we've seen people are starting to lose trust in their governments, and bank accounts are being frozen, and people are looking to break away from the status quo that has kept them shackled down for so long. And that's why El Salvador was the first country earlier on, actually towards the end of 2021, who made Bitcoin legal tender in their country. And they saw a huge surge of tourism and increase of people moving to the country, because this is the way things are going right now. So we're going to take a quick look at the Bitcoin chart before we jump into the news about everything. And we're looking at the daily levels right here. You can see we're bouncing literally right at this support line. I could potentially see us falling down to even this line here like we did. We got some really good bounces from this trend line down here. If you look real closely, we can see the dark purple line right there. That's the 800 EMA, right at about $35,000. And I'm sure we'll get a huge bounce there as well. A lot of the market right now is extremely bearish. Everyone thinks it's going to crash down, but in reality, this is where the whales, the big money is buying in at these big bounce zones. And you can see usually after we hit these bounce zones, we go up and test this horizontal resistance line, and that could very well be what we're about to do right now. There is a lot of news also breaking this week here in the US around the stock market. The Fed is going to have a interest rate hike news coming out, and an announcement about that coming out next week. This week is really huge for all the earnings reports for a bunch of the top stocks, all the FANG stocks, the Googles, the Amazons, the Netflix, Apple. These are the big companies that are going to be reporting their earnings. And if we get a bad earnings report, that's where I'd be expecting to see maybe another leg down here to around the 36,000, 35,000 zone. But we've been in a downtrend for so long. We're already down over 60% since the all-time high. Well, currently we're down 42% since the all-time high, just about. But we've crashed down a lot more than that over this amount of time here. And we have not had a substantial bounce up to really put in a lower high, which would be up here in the upper 50s or mid 50s. And if we can't break above that, then we'd probably go down further than that. But, you know, we do not have a solid bounce yet. And all I can really see formulating here, if I was going to do anything, is this could all potentially become a big W pattern. And just like what we're seeing with the dollar index, we saw a huge W here play out, and the dollar is just surging at 101 right now. That's pretty much the all-time high for the dollar. If we zoom out here, you can go back and look at the years. That's 2018, 2017. Basically, every time the dollar index goes down, Bitcoin goes up. And the dollar index, as you can see, is flying up right now, but we're hitting this massive resistance line for the dollar, which could lead it to start coming down, which could be our next huge leg up in cryptocurrency. But all this news, all this craziness is happening right now. A lot of the stocks are down. We have some crazy news about Elon Musk reportedly going to be acquiring Twitter, and this is all the news coming out right now, which is actually really positive news, not only because Elon Musk has a big say-so in the Dogecoin environment and cryptocurrency as a whole, but Elon Musk is a valid advocate for freedom of speech, which I love that. I hope even my worst critics remain on Twitter, because that's what free speech means. That's why I absolutely love this. And if you think about what cryptocurrency really is at the end of the day, it's kind of people getting their own individual sovereignty and freedom against big government, which is censoring, controlling your currency, devaluing it, and making your life a living hell, to be honest. So this is really good that Elon Musk is a freedom of speech advocate. We need a lot more of that here in the United States and everywhere else. But yeah, Twitter is going to have its earning report here on Thursday. And I think it's potentially, just the other week, Twitter was saying, no, we're not going to sell Twitter to Elon Musk. And now I think maybe they got news that their earning report's going to be really bad. So it may be a prime time for them to just offload Twitter. But some of the big money behind Twitter is BlackRock and some of these other massive conglomerate companies, which don't necessarily want all this freedom of speech out there. They love using Twitter and these other news networks as mouthpieces for their agendas. So it'll be interesting to see if Elon Musk does acquire Twitter. That will be a massive surge just for and a big win for freedom and cryptocurrency as a whole. Now, the cool thing about Dogecoin and Elon Musk, Doge had a huge pump today. Let's see, actually, Doge, check out this pump. So you can see here on the daily candles, just a big green volume candle spike. And that's because Elon Musk is pretty much going to potentially be controlling Twitter. And he may integrate Dogecoin into certain payment networks within Twitter itself. But a really cool thing why Elon Musk has some power over Twitter is that, over Dogecoin, is because he's synced up his Starlink satellites, which give basically internet connection in no man's land, like from a satellite internet connection. He can allow Dogecoin transfers to be sent from inactive internet connections. So you can see right down here, so the Starlink satellite network is allowing Dogecoin to be sent from phone to phone or from crypto wallet to crypto wallet without any internet connection. And that is amazing, because this is the kind of technology we need for people out here in the Central African Republic, which is accepting Bitcoin as legal tender. And this is exactly why we need that, because these other countries in South America, like El Salvador, these other third world countries in Africa that are wanting to get out of their devalued currency and into something like Bitcoin, they don't have crazy great internet everywhere they go. So having maybe Starlink connect to their cell phones, a lot of people in Central Africa have cell phones, but there's not readily available nice bank accounts and things like that available. But as long as they have their cell phone, they can have their crypto wallet there, and then they can send crypto and buy and purchase and sell things, as long as they have maybe a connection from Starlink. So that could be a really cool thing. But this is the big news. This is the second country here that is now following El Salvador's example and embracing Bitcoin as legal tender. It's saying it's to accept Bitcoin as legal tender. Well, if you come down here, it actually says the House Parliament of Central African Republic has signed a bill to accept Bitcoin as legal tender on local soil. So they've already signed this in. It's basically going to become law soon. It's not law right now, but that's really what's happening. And more of these companies are going to, countries, it's not just companies anymore that are adopting Bitcoin. It's now countries. More and more are looking to do so as well. So we also have a bigger country like Argentina who's looking to embrace cryptocurrency. And you can see this guy right here, a former, he has a formative memory of Argentina's crushing financial crisis at the end of the 1990s, when bank accounts were frozen and almost overnight people's savings evaporated. And that's what we saw in Canada. if there were political dissidents speaking out, their bank accounts were frozen. And when you have something like cryptocurrency, which in the future could be, you know, you don't even need an internet connection to be able to buy and sell things. That's when you have full freedom over your currency, and that's amazing. So I know Bitcoin's very volatile right now, but as more countries adopt it and that market cap grows, it's going to become less and less volatile. And that's why it's important to see, you know, if you want to have more money in crypto, you can keep it in Bitcoin if you want a real safe side of things. But honestly, if you want to like make massive gains, I have this video. If you go to my channel and you literally just see the first video there, I think you have to potentially be subscribed. Let's actually see, because I think if you just go into my channel, I want to make sure you guys know how to get in and actually make a lot of money, because that's what most people want to do right now. Yes, it's great Bitcoin is being adopted in these countries, and this is going to further set up these smaller coins to start running very fast. So it looks like for people who haven't subscribed, that's the trailer, and you'll be able to see this massive KuCoin gains if you are subscribed. And when you do subscribe, make sure to check out the KuCoin tutorial, which I'll show you the best exchange to get all of your crypto. And then once you get this exchange set up, you're going to want to go look at the 3x gains video there on all the top 10, 20, and see if anyone has any questions, which I don't see anyone's dropped any questions yet, but that's okay because I randomly did this live stream. The last piece of news is that I know Canada has already established a Bitcoin ETF, which allows Canadian citizens to just go to their normal stock market and go start buying into Bitcoin right then and there, which adds a lot more money into the Bitcoin market cap and makes the price go up as well. So now Australia is looking to roll out a Bitcoin ETF as well. So that's putting more and more pressure on the United States for rolling out their own ETF, which will allow everyone in the stock market to be able to go in. And, you know, a lot of more traditional people don't know how to go download crypto wallets and do all this crazy stuff like I'm showing you here. You know, you can even also, like I'm showing, buy the 3x short coins, which you can see at the time of this video, we're just down over 100%. So because crypto was going up a little bit, the shorts were getting destroyed. On the other end, you know, if Bitcoin's starting to crash down, you can buy the 3x shorts, and these will just fly up in price big time. So that's kind of what we're looking at. A whole lot more adoption coming out, and everything's looking really good. And before you know it, the US